I'm gonna jump right into it. I don't want to drag this out. Let's do it. Have I ever been to jail? Yes, I have. How did I end up in jail? Well, every summer we would drive out to California, from Texas to California, and we would hang out there. But mind you, I was 16 years old at the time, and I had my own car because I was working like 9 jobs at all times. I'd spend my summers in Long Beach, California. Now just picture this, 16-year-old pulls up in California with his own car. All these young dudes, they were Crips, right? I lived in a Crip neighborhood. All of them was like, yo, dog, give us a ride to so-and-so. Take us to this, take us to that. And before you know it, we were driving all over the place. We're going roller skating together. We go to other neighborhoods to meet girls. We go hang out outside of clubs and all this other stuff. And without giving too much detail, of course I got pulled over by the police. I was young and I was a bit of a hothead, and I was also allowing myself to be influenced by one of my homies who was kind of a hothead too. I got a citation for whatever it was, and I was like, man, I don't give a damn. I don't live here, dude. You can take that citation. You can shove it. In my head, I'm thinking I ain't got to ever worry about this again. And the craziest thing is, I go away, I go back to Texas, and years later, 4 or 5 years later, I've now completed high school. I've gone to the military. I'm in the Marine Corps. I complete boot camp. I go from boot camp to School of Infantry in Camp Pendleton, and I come back to Texas. I get all my stuff and decide I'm going to California to pursue my dreams. I go to California. I get a record deal, and I record an album. And when they started making the artwork for the album, I now had to go to Virgin Records to approve artwork every day. It wasn't today where like they could just, yo, we're gonna email this big old file over to you. You check it out and let us know. No, I had to drive over there. Every single day that we drove to Beverly Hills, we got pulled over by the police. We got pulled over 5 days in a row. I had this new used car. It was like a little Triumph Spitfire. This one undercover cop was like unraveling pieces of foil in the trunk that I didn't even know was in the trunk. He was finding stuff. It was new. I mean, it was like a used car that I had bought. I didn't know it had this stuff in the trunk. Mind you, my homie is sitting on the curb with a big old red and white box of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and people are just driving by and looking at us like this. And I'm like, God dang it. Every single day. Listen, we got pulled over so much that I would just start telling cops, yo, dude, can you write me my ticket because I'm kind of late to the studio? And they'd be like, well, where are you going? To the studio, man. Can you just write me a ticket really quick, please? Or is there something else? And they'd just be like, oh, okay, sorry. And let us go. It got to that point. I never, ever got arrested for that. And then one day, I was living in the Valley. A friend of my brother's said he needed to borrow some money, and it was late at night, actually. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll take you to the ATM. I'll grab you some cash. So we go get some cash. And when we go to get cash, cops pull up and they're like, yo, can I see your ID? And I'm like, uh-oh, this seems bad. I handed over my ID and they were like, dude, you got warrants. You got like a $15,000 warrant. In fact, you have 2 of those. And I was like, what? How was that even possible? I've been pulled over a lot in California. I can't think of one time that I've ever gotten a ticket. And then it hit me. Oh, I got a ticket about 5 years ago. Boom, they took me to jail. They didn't take me straight to jail. They took me to this precinct that was in Van Nuys. And I'm in the precinct in Van Nuys, and there's a dude in this precinct, this Puerto Rican dude. He's sitting there with his arms folded, and he looks like he can't take it anymore. And there's another dude in there that looked like he had rollers in his hair, and he had on like knee-high socks, and he had on these flip-flops, and he was talking like that. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, so my homie gave me the other Cadillac that I got. That's the Cadillac I got now. You know what I'm saying? Because the other one on the blocks, you know what I'm saying? Left that motherfucker on his jacks, you know what I'm saying? And then the hoe that I'm with, that's the one that I do. And dude, the Puerto Rican dude is just shaking his head. And so finally, things quiet down, and the Puerto Rican dude leans in, and he'd be like, hey, dude over there to be talking about the Cadillac and what hoe we got, boo, boo, boo. I see that nigga riding the bus daily. I see him riding the bus, and everybody's in there busting up, and I'm like, oh, I'm not playing into this. I don't want to be a part of this. I just keep my mouth shut. The Grey Goose, which is basically this, I think it's called the Grey Goose, but basically this big old bus comes and picks us up to take us to LA County. So we sit in this holding center in Van Nuys for about maybe 6 hours, and then this big old bus comes and they handcuff you and they put you on the bus and they drive you to Los Angeles County. Now, I've told this story as Tijuana Jackson. It's on Tijuana Jackson channel. It's at prisonlogic.com. But real talk, we got to the prison and the prison was full. I'm not joking. It wasn't the prison, it was the jail. We got to the jail and the jail was full. How full was the jail? The jail was so full that it put 73 of us to sleep on the roof of the jail. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, here we are getting processed. You go in and you gotta wait in this long ass line. What you waiting in line for? You waiting in line to go through a shower. We were wearing blues. They gave us like these blue things that look like scrubs and the prison uniform. And then, you know, you take a shower. And then after you take a shower, you have to go through processing, just all this drama. And they would come and they'd hand you like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and an apple and some chocolate milk. You were waiting in the line forever. And it's funny because it's a social line. Everybody's talking and blah, blah, blah. One white dude, his name was Red. His hair, he had like big curls like this, big curls. And Red just goes down. Bam! It's like his head just smacked the ground. Bam! And he starts trembling and shaking. And I'm like, oh my God. And then like these dudes, like medics or whatever, come over, or COs, I don't know what the hell it was. And they came and they got him up and they took him to the front of the line and they sat him in a chair and they gave him another peanut butter and jelly sandwich and they gave him an apple. They gave him an apple and they gave him some chocolate milk. And he basically got to cut in front of the line. And then after we took the showers, we had to wait in another line. And we were getting issues because they were giving us blankets and stuff like that so that we could sleep on the roof. He goes down again. Bam! Head smacks the ground. He's trembling. Seizure. Man down, man down. Everybody screams, man down. They move him to the front of the line. He got to go up there first. He got another apple. He got more chocolate milk. He got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The medic took a look at him. Back in the front of the line. He repeated this throughout the whole time, and I suddenly realized it was a racket. This was his side hustle. This is how he didn't have to wait. This is how he got to the front of everything. That was one thing. Then I saw things that kind of made me mad, where I saw like this old dude was wearing these flip-flops. Old dude took them off for a minute to rest them bunions, and this younger dude kind of jacked them for him. Dude, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't want to get in any confrontation, but I couldn't keep my mouth shut, and I was like, dude, come on, man, this dude's twice your age. And the dude gave me a look, and I didn't know if the look was, you kind of right, bruh, or if the look was, say another word and I'm gonna fuck you in your ass. I couldn't tell what the fuck he was thinking, so I just shut my mouth up, man, and eventually was able to get the old dude another pair of flip-flops. So we sleep on the roof of the jail. It's 4 o'clock in the morning at this point, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They wake us up and they move us to a day room, and to my understanding, a day room holds maximum capacity 22. Like I said, it's 73 of us in there, bro. And of course, Red went in there first. So we in the day room and we sleeping on the floor, we sleeping on benches. But what's crazy is that the day room has phones. So there's brothers who've been in this jail for, I don't know, they've been in this jail for 2 years, in there with us because they found a way to sneak in there so they could get on the phone. And people are having a problem with that. Me, I ain't saying nothing. I figured I look so soft. If I just cover myself from head to toe and I could peek through the blankets, it'd be better because people would be like, I don't know who's under there. We might not want to mess with them. Maybe we might. You know what I'm saying? We stayed in there and everybody slept, and we woke up the next morning, and this is a true story. The same dude who was the pimp, remember the pimp? He's in there telling stories, and somebody's flipping through channels. There was a television mounted up on the wall. The reception's kind of messed up. I remember as they were flipping through the channels, Soul Train flashed on the screen, and the dude, the pimp dude, was like, right there, leave it right there. And the dude kept passing, no, put it back on Soul Train. Fine, whoever was flipping the channels, put it back on Soul Train. But the reception's terrible. So he goes up there, gets behind the TV, he climbs up on this thing, gets behind the TV and starts adjusting it. And as he's adjusting it, right, it starts coming in clear. And everybody's like, no, right there. Because he can't really see the TV. He got to kind of look like this to see the TV. So people are like, yeah, right there. Okay. No, back, right. Perfect. Whatever you doing, keep doing that. And this dude goes, and if you come down from there, I'ma fuck you up. Yo, my man had to stay there and hold the antenna for the whole Soul Train. I was sitting there watching, being like, God, please don't let this be a marathon. Please don't let this be a Soul Train marathon. Let's just do the one and done just to avoid any conflict. Anyway, we watched the Soul Train. They come and they get us now. Actually, some dudes from the real side of the jail had came and started jacking people. Some of us had on civilian shoes. They started jacking people for that. I stuck to my strategy, got up under my cover, and was just watching what was going on. Nobody asked me for nothing. They left, and then everybody started getting a little lax. And then dudes started talking, and we all started hanging out and kicking it. It was kind of like a little bit of a party. And then the next thing you know, I'm somehow beatboxing old school songs. And And I never forget, this dude named Money T started rapping, and Money T started doing lyrics. Then this dude wanted to jump in. Then another dude wanted to jump in. And before you know, we had a full-blown cypher. I'm the beatbox and everybody's rapping. Mind you, I'm the dude with the record coming out in a few months, right? So I'm kind of getting cool with everybody because I'm giving beats. But there's this one dude who's bigger than everybody. I'm telling you, he was just like a better looking Mike Tyson. And he's looking at me like this. Dude is looking at me like this. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Lord, please, please don't let this man rip out my pineal gland in front of all these people. God, I don't want to bleed in jail. I don't want to bleed here. I bleed anywhere. Don't make me bleed in jail. So they come and they're splitting us up, and it's like groups of 12. They're like Guidry, Thompson, and boom, those 12 leave. And little did I know that they were actually putting these people in cells, in holding cells. They were being placed in these cells that had these benches, so you kind of sit along the wall, but the cell really seemed like it was fit for more like 2 or 3 people. 12 of us crammed in there. Why the fuck did they call my name with the big dude's name? And why did we all end up in this little ass cell together? And guess what? All these rapping fools want me to beatbox. And I'm like, one dude like, give me that Paul Revere beat, man. Give me the Paul Revere beat again. Give me the backwards one. Give me the backwards one. And I'm like, looking at that big dude who's looking at me like, and I'm like, and yo, Money T saves the day. Money T goes, hey, do me a favor. Slow it down a little bit. Give me a gangster beat, right? So I don't remember what I did, but it's something like, and the buff dude who's looking at me like this goes, hey, homie, hey, right there, stay just like that. And he starts singing to that beat. This dude's voice, I get chills. Look, I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. Was beautiful. I'm talking about this dude was gifted. And who would have known his voice was so high pitched? Like that. He was like this, hey, homie, right there, yeah. Hey, homie. And he's talking, hold that beat right there. And he started to blunt. Everybody was like, whoa, like, damn, dude, you been holding out, bro. You been holding out now, you know what I'm saying? And then they started trying to make music like, you do the hook and you do the rap. That dude could sing his ass off. And like, it stays with me to this day, how beautiful, like, oh, man, he inspired me. And he didn't kill me. He had absolutely no intentions of breaking into my house and killing my family. I was surprised. What I found out was we was in these cells because we didn't get to see the judge. They just come to you right there, no representation, no nothing. They just go, hey, how do you plead? And everybody's like, no contest, not guilty, no contest. The one dude to say not guilty, everybody be like, I pled no contest because I realized that it was for a warrant from way back. And I ended up being there for like 4 days. The days go by and I'm starting to hang out. We got the whole hip hop clique now. We all tight. Everybody's cool. And it kind of is like a party. And we literally just hang out all day and chill and eat terrible food. And they give you this thing like supposed to be Kool-Aid that tastes like mouthwash. And I was like, I'm not eating nothing. I lost weight. I wasn't eating nothing. Constipated in there and the whole deal. My other warrant was in Long Beach. And so they were going to transport me from here to Long Beach. But I saw this dude named Lamont. And Lamont is 6'2". And he's crying. Man, I don't want to go to Long Beach, nigga. Man, the Bloods and the Crips, nigga, they feud, nigga. You got to choose a side, nigga. If you don't choose a side, nigga, they kill you. Cuz I'm telling you, nigga, I don't want to go over to Long Beach, man. I'm telling you, man, this team, like the Bloods and the Crips, they going at it, nigga. If you don't choose a side, nigga, you dead, nigga. You dead. And I'm like, what? And I got to go to Long Beach? Oh shit. Okay. So here's what really happened. About day 5, they call me in and they do this processing when you're exiting as well. And they just basically said they weren't going to send me to Long Beach. Long Beach didn't want me because it was too full. So I ended up getting time served on 2 warrants that were $15,000 a piece because the jails were too full. Like, I wasn't going to ask, why aren't you sending me to Long Beach? I was like, thank you. I got out of that jail quick. It really stuck with me because what I saw there was not criminals. I didn't see criminals at all. I mean, I saw a few people here and there who were like, yeah, I did this, I did this, I did this. But a lot of the people in there were just like me. And what I mean by just like me is that, you know, they just got pulled in for a traffic violation. For all I know, my record label probably called in and did some, I don't know what the hell happened. All I know is 4 or 5 days went by. Long Beach was like, we don't want them, keep that fool. Time served. And I left the prison. I had a court date. I had to show up in court and I had to pay a fine. And that was the gist of it. A lot of other people just aren't as fortunate. You know what I mean? And then another thing that's really crazy is that, you know how I kept getting pulled over when I would go to the record label? People at the record label had actually called into the precinct there and talked to whoever the hell is in charge and was like, listen, we have clients that come here who are actually being stopped daily in the same vehicle. So we have a problem with that. Their office was on Maple Street in Beverly Hills. And do you know, we never got pulled over again. The point is, I had a warrant that I got when I was 16 years old. There's no way around it. It's my fault. I did it. Can't blame nobody but me. And that was my experience in jail. And the moral to the story, in my personal opinion, is all of us go through some kinds of struggles. Some of us get found out, some of us don't. We've all fucked up. Some of us get caught, some of us don't. But the point of it is, just because someone's been to jail or just because someone has had a hardship in their life or has made mistakes in their life, Catholic marriage, and they end up getting divorced quickly, I don't care what it is, it's really not our place to make a judgment on that person based on those experiences. You can't look at someone and say, oh, because you did this, you're this, and because you did this and this. And we are so guilty of that in this country, in this world. I met people that are in my memory to this day in that prison that were genuinely kind, caring, sincere human beings. In that prison, listen to me, in that jail, in county jail, LA County. And it's weird. I didn't meet Snoop, and we were the same, you know, we were kind of, I think we were in it around the same time. People just don't feel good about themselves in this world. There's like this major deficit in their souls, and as a result of that, they subconsciously need to put down and judge other people as a way of uplifting themselves. But the truth is, you just bring the both of you down more. That is the moral to that damn story right there. And the other moral to the story is, you get a ticket, cover that shit. Don't act like it's gonna go away. I don't care if it's in another state. You never know where you might end up. When I was 16, I had no clue that I'd be living in California with a friggin' record deal. And it was funny. When I was getting out of the jail, everybody like, we gonna be looking out for your record, homie. It better be real, nigga. It better be real. I had all that LA County support as well. And it was hilarious too, because I just always growing up had known people who had been in and out of jail, had hung out with brothers who had been to prison. It just never crossed my mind that I would be in a jail, ever. But anyway, that's my story. Oh, please go to prisonlogic.com if you want to support. Thank you. And like I said, keep your ass out of jail. It ain't the place. I'm out.